What up, YouTube? East Texas Bass Stories, right? Today, we appreciate you guys watching as always. It really means a lot for you guys to click on here, watch these videos. I really appreciate it. Continue to tell your friends. Help us grow the channel more and more. Unfortunately, today might be the last day that some of y'all watch the channel because we're going to talk about a controversial subject today. Today's East Texas Bass Story is going to be about the culture of bass fishing. So today we're going to talk about the culture of bass fishing and all the good things and bad things and in-between things. And, you know, first let me say bass fishing has some of the best people in the world. I want that to be first and foremost in this video. Some of the very best people, as far as a group of people goes, that I've ever met, and probably the best as a group, is bass fishermen. They're the most, you know, they reach out to their brothers, they help each other when they're down. You know, it's a fraternity that I'm honored to be a part of, but we do have some negative aspects of it. We're going to talk about that today. Before we get to that, though, we're going to get to something else. I'm going to start making it a weekly deal where we do the top 5 baits for Lake Fork every Friday. So on every Friday's video, if you guys catch it on Friday, I'll give you my top 5 baits to fish Lake Fork with that weekend. Let's jump right into that. The first bait that we're going to talk about today for fishing Lake Fork this weekend is going to be a swim jig. This is a bluegill pattern. You know what, guys? We've already got some fish starting to spawn in the far northern reaches of the lake. Anytime that I get around the spawn, whether it's a bass spawn or the bluegill spawn, anytime those fish are getting really shallow thinking about spawning or around the bluegill spawn, I want to throw a bluegill pattern bait. This is their arch nemesis, their arch rival for the rest of the spring right here. So I want to throw this. A swim jig is a very versatile bait, something to help you cover a lot of water. On Lake Fork, it's important at times to present a subtle technique. It'll help you get more bites than some of the more aggressive techniques will because of all the pressure that we get, all the boat traffic we get, and the Florida strain influence that we have on Lake Fork. So, bluegill pattern swim jig. That's a 6-inch Divine 3/8 ounce bluegill pattern swim jig. Second one is the one that's been a big player for us lately. This is the 5-inch smash stick, by Smash Tech. And watermelon red is my favorite color overall. But this 5-inch stick bait has really been the #1 fish catcher for us day in, day out. And this weekend, with this little bit of cool spell that we got, I feel like this one could really be the lifesaver, the game changer, whatever you want to call it. This could be the one that really helps you get some bites this weekend. And yes, it's going to catch some small fish, but this bait will catch big fish as well. I've caught some really big fish on these stick baits like this over the years, especially when they're thinking about spawning like they are right now. You know, another option for you guys on that, gives it a little bit different action. If you're not getting bites on that regular stick bait, switch over to the LFT Hyper Stick. The Hyper Stick has that jointed action. It's got a little bit different action, and sometimes just a little subtle difference like that can make all the difference in the world when you're getting bites on a pressured lake like Fork. Number three is going to be a Texas rigged creature bait of some sorts. A brush hog is a good one. This right here is one of my favorites, probably right alongside a brush hog. The Zoom brush hog, and then this is a Berkeley Crazy Legs Chigger Crawl. Black and blue, never a bad time to throw black and blue. Watermelon red, green pumpkin. You know, I keep it pretty simple. I'm a simple guy on colors. Y'all know that by now. But a Texas rig creature bait, and that's also going to come in handy if you happen to run into one of those fish that's early spawning on a bed and you want to sight fish for it. You got your Texas rig ready to go. Flip it on in there, see if you can't catch him. This is a 1/4 ounce because I'm fishing real shallow for the most part. If I was fishing deeper, I'd go to a 3/8 or a 1/2 ounce, but right now I'm fishing a lot of really shallow water. So I got a 1/4 ounce Texas rig creature. Fourth bait You know, last week I talked about the buzz bait, and in last week's video, y'all saw me catch one on this. This is something that's new to me, but I'm going to have it in my top 5 this week because I really want to throw it, really want to experiment with it. You know, anytime those fish are shallow, as they have been here lately and as they are right now, a topwater bait's never a bad idea, especially one that makes a lot of racket like this. Those big fish are in a foot of water, and when something like this comes over their head, it's really close to them in that shallow water. A lot of times they just can't stand it, and they'll bite it out of reaction just because it's something making all that racket that close to their head. Also, you can cast this thing a mile and cover a ton of water with it, so it's a helpful tool that way as well. Oh, I don't think I use it would help if I told you what this is, huh? This is a whopper plopper. That's the River to Sea whopper plopper. It's the middle tier size. That's the one I like to go with. And last, but certainly not least, you know, hey, we're on Lake Fork. We got a lot of big fish. A lot of you guys are coming to Lake Fork for one reason, that's to try and catch a new personal best. We're at that time of year where there's not many better options than a big old swim bait, and this is the best one that you can get for Lake Fork, in my opinion. This is a Smash Tech Convict. If you guys haven't seen the video where we wrecked them on Lake Monticello on this, I'll link it up here. It's right above us right now. Go check that out. We killed them on this bait. If you don't believe how effective it is when the big fish are shallow, make sure you watch that video. Smash Tech Convict, it's a weedless rigged bait. It's got a hook slot in it, right? So that's going to help your hookup ratio with that hook slot in there. When that fish bites, that hook can fold all the way up in there, giving you much more bite, much more angle to get that hook in the fish. Just a really, really great bait. This is a darkish color. That's a really good color. Pearl on a cloudy day can be good. But if you want to swing for the fences, go out and just slow roll that thing around in some of that shallow water. You might get your arm broke. I mean, you could literally catch the biggest fish you'll ever catch in your life at any time doing that on Lake Fork this time of year. All right, now I've got a full mess. That's the way I like things. I like to keep things messy on my boat. That's the way it always ends up being, whether I want it to or not. So there is our top 5 for this weekend on Lake Fork. I hope that helps you guys out. I hope that y'all catch some really good fish this weekend if you're going to Lake Fork or wherever you're fishing. If you're in the East Texas area, these baits will work on all the lakes around here right now. So appreciate you guys listening to that. Now we're going to sit down and get into the meat of the topic today. Let's go talk about the culture of bass fishing. All right, culture of bass fishing. Like we said, some of the, probably the best group of people I've ever been around in my life. I don't want to make this come across like I'm dogging the sport of bass fishing or the people of bass fishing, because, man, it's why I'm doing what I do. I love this sport. I love the people. The people are definitely one of the reasons that I love the sport of bass fishing so much. No doubt about it. There's a lot of people that I owe a lot to that I couldn't be where I am today without them. That being said, we have this thing going on in bass fishing. And I don't know if it's everywhere. I would imagine it is, because human nature doesn't change. But we have this kind of a jealousy and a hyper competitiveness and, man, paranoia, and I mean, we just, we get really, really well and tight about these green fish sometimes, and I really think that it's just too much. The lakes around here, they're going to get crowded, guys. That's just the way it goes, and you cannot spend your time worrying about where somebody else is fishing, or if they're fishing your stuff, or if they're cutting you off. Just don't worry about it, man. There's plenty of lake to fish. Man, just keep fishing hard and enjoy the day, enjoy the company. You don't be so worried about somebody else coming around you and catching a fish. When they catch a fish, be happy for them. And we have this tendency in bass fishing to be super secretive and just, those are my fish, that's my technique, my information, and I'm going to keep it to myself and blah, blah, blah. Man, I understand. I fully understand the pressure of putting people on fish. I have to deal with it all the time. When you've got customers in your boat, you owe them, you're accountable to them to help them catch as many fish as possible. And will somebody else coming in the same area as you, will that hinder that? Will somebody else fishing the same technique as you hinder that? Yes, it can at times. It can cut your number of fish catches down. But the bottom line at the end of the day is they have every bit as much right to be there and enjoy the resource and enjoy the sport as you do. And really, moreover, the bottom line is the more people that love this sport, the more the sport grows, the more people are passionate about it, the better it is for all of us as professionals that are trying to make a living doing this. Because whether you like it or not, our brand is bass fishing. And as the group of guys on Lake Fork, our brand is Lake Fork. The more people that are coming to Lake Fork and enjoying it, the better it is for our brand. And as far as the secretiveness and the, sharing information, look, I'm just going to put the elephant in the room out there. There's people around the lake, there's guides around the lake that don't like me sharing the information that I share. They don't want any part of it. They think it's a terrible idea. A lot of them are mad at me for doing it. They don't say it so much directly to my face, but I hear what they're saying. I hear y'all. First, let me say I respect each and every one of you. Everybody out there has earned their place. There's no shortcuts. There's no easy way in. You have to earn your spot as a guide on that lake. It's a very competitive business, tough business, and you better bring your A game every day because there's a lot of sticks out there that will run laps around you if you don't. And I get my butt kicked out there a lot. I mean, there's a lot of guys that kick my butt on a lot of days, and some days I kick their butt. But you got to be bringing it every day because they're so good. Tons of respect for each and every one of you guys out there. You guys have earned your place. Y'all are all awesome. At the same time, I respectfully disagree with the notion that we shouldn't share knowledge that we've gained over the years. If we can share something and help somebody else catch another fish, help somebody else catch a personal best, that's only going to be good for our sport. That's good for our brand. That's how I personally feel about it. I think it's a good thing to share information. I think it's a good thing to get everybody involved as much as possible, get everybody catching as much fish as possible. And me doing these YouTube videos, yes, it has helped my business. No doubt, I'm not going to sit here and deny it. And hopefully it will continue to help my business as I continue doing them. Hopefully the YouTube channel continues to grow as well as my guide business. But that's not really why I started doing them. I started doing them because I love this sport. This sport has given me so much in a way of, look, a lot of you guys know what's going on with my wife. A lot of you guys know that I'm having a very tough event going on in my family. Y'all know that my wife has breast cancer. And when I'm fishing, when I set the hook, or when somebody in my boat sets a hook, or when somebody next to me in another boat for that matter, when they set a hook, I'm not thinking about cancer. I'm not thinking about bills that I can't pay. I'm not thinking about what happened back when I was in Iraq. I'm not thinking about any of that stuff. The only thing I'm thinking about is that fish and how awesome this experience is. There's nobody with a fish on the end of their line or even their buddy's line that has a problem. All your problems disappear for that 30 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever it may be. Problems are gone. I want to share that feeling. If there's another veteran out there, this sport healed me. And look, I didn't go through, my time in the Marine Corps was not nearly as hard as a lot of you guys out there. At the same time, mentally, when I got out, I was not a mentally healthy person. Fishing has gotten me much closer to being a mentally healthy person. It was that aspect of not having to worry about anything else. It was the first place that I could go when I got out of the Marine Corps and moved here. It was the first thing that I did where I felt truly relaxed, where I wasn't worried about anything around me. There was no paranoia. There was no heightened sense of awareness. I could actually relax and enjoy myself. And I'm telling you guys, fishing changed my life. And that's what I want to share with you. And that's why I share all the information that I do. And that's why I want to help you as much as I can. Because I know what it's done for me, and I want to give each and every person out there the same opportunity for it to do that for you. We forget what it's all really about. And that is appreciating the resource, enjoying God's creation, and enjoying some fellowship in your fellow man. That's really what it's about, guys. Let's go ahead and hit elephant in the room number 2. There is a big, massive difference in the younger group of anglers and the older group of anglers in the way they do things. At the same time, their goal at the end of the day is the same thing. They just want to catch the next fish. For all of you young guys, and a lot of you are friends of mine that I work with on YouTube, for you guys that are younger and you get frustrated with the older generation, don't. Respect their ways, respect their knowledge, and try to learn from them, because they do have a lot to teach if you'll take the time to get to know them. For all of you older guys that think they're a bunch of knuckleheads acting like crazy, you know what? You're just a normal human, because every generation thinks the one behind them is a bunch of turds from the beginning of time. If it was 1960, you'd be mad at Elvis for shaking his hips. Today, you're mad at a kid for making a YouTube video and jumping in the lake when he loses a bet. You did stuff just as crazy when you were his age. Maybe been different, but you did stuff just as crazy as he's doing. And these guys that are making these YouTube videos, they're busting their butts, man. It's hard work. I can tell you, because I'm doing it too. Some of these young kids that are making it in this industry on YouTube are out working everybody else around them, and then those other people are getting mad when they have success. That ain't cool. They're busting their butts. They're doing it the best way they know how, enjoying it as much as they possibly can, and trying to make a living doing it. Same thing that all of us older guys are doing. Busting our butts as hard as we can, trying to make a living the best way we know how, having as much fun as we can while we're doing it. We have much more in common than we have differences. There are some differences. Let's open our minds, open our eyes, try and learn from each other, and man, the sport will be better for it. We'll all embrace each other's ways, and the young guys can learn from the old guys, and the old guys, you can probably learn some stuff from these young guys. So that's it, man. I probably rambled on. It's a bit of a personal discussion, and I apologize if I came across on my soapbox, and I know I did. And I just felt like it was something that was weighing on me a lot. It's something that I'm hearing about a lot, and I wanted to get it out there and get it off my chest. And I want everybody to know that I respect each and every one of you. All you guys on Fork, I respect you. All you weekend anglers, I respect you. I understand your passion and what you're trying to do. I'm the same. I was you. I had an 8-foot plastic boat that I put in the back of my truck every time I got off work early, or every weekend day that I could, and I drug it to whatever water body I could, and I just tried to figure out how to catch the next fish. I know exactly how y'all feel. I hope I didn't offend anybody too bad. If I did, I truly am sorry. I did not do this video to offend people. I did it just to set the record straight, put my stance out there, since there seems to be a lot of discussion going on about what I've been doing on YouTube lately around the lake. I wanted to put this out there for all you guys to hear and understand. This is my perspective. This is what I believe. If you believe something different, I just respectfully disagree with you, and I hope that's okay with you. I really do, because I like all you guys. I want to work with y'all in the future, and I guess that's it. I do appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for helping me grow the channel. It's growing every day. We're getting new subscribers, more views every single day, and that's all because of you guys that are clicking these buttons and watching these videos, and I cannot say thank you enough. We're trying to get the details worked out on the June 3rd tournament for my wife. As soon as I have the details, I will get those out to you. And here is some wonderful fish catching footage. Hope y'all all enjoy it, because this, what's fixing to happen on this video, this is what it's about. See y'all next time.
Yeah! Woo! There he is! Woo! New Year's Day 2017.
New Year's Day 2017, and yes, you just saw a guy wakeboarding behind a boat in Texas.
All right, Mom, we'll see you at home.
Got him.
Big. Ooh, giant fish. Don't tell me you got it. Yes! Oh, yes!
I'm so blessed to do this job. so blessed to be able to fish this lake, because, I mean, where else are you going to catch that? Get you some, boys.